Okay, so last week we set up a goal where you would be making individual guided reading baggies for each of your students in the classroom. I noticed how you have been planning ahead for your guided reading groups by pulling books ahead of time and then preparing questions that are aligned to your daily shared reading lessons.
Right.
So what was the impact for preparing your guided reading lessons beforehand?
Okay. So knowing the story to gauge comprehension and building up on the vocabulary and then working on making predictions.
That's been helping with the kids?
Yes.
Good. So today I wanted to focus on starting your guided reading lessons with a book walk. What is your goal for doing a book walk prior to having students read?
Okay, so getting the students to know what the story is going to be about, going over the vocabulary, and then what the students may have trouble with, and making predictions.
And then what are the students going to have to do to reach this goal?
Okay, so looking at the predictions or looking at the pictures and making it, connecting it to their own lives, and then they have to know how to chunk and decode words.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show you a video. It's Jan Richardson, and while you're watching the video, I want you to jot down some noticings that you see her doing while she's doing the book walk.
This is a mouse deer. Boys and girls, this is a mouse deer. It's a small baby deer. And look at your picture. Who do you think they're going to escape from? What do you think? Yes. The alligator or the crocodile. You're going to have to read it to find out, aren't you? That's when we find out why she makes the crocodiles mad and how she protects herself. What do you think?
Well, since she's jumping over them, since they're in a line.
How do you know they're in a line? You picked at the picture. Oh, let's go look at those pictures. And it's right there. That's how she's going to get across the river, isn't it? Now go ahead and look at your pictures. And I'm going to ask you a question. Now, as they're looking at the pictures, because that we still need to work. Yes, go ahead and look at these pictures. You see these crocodiles?
See?
Yeah. Now, who's mad? The crocodiles? Why do you think they're mad?
Because she sees them jumping.
Jumping.
There.
And any other idea why they might be angry?
If they were sleeping,
Maybe they were sleeping. Okay.
she might have hit or
And oh, let me talk about this. Little mouse deer is a sassy animal. Sassy means to be a smart aleck. Anybody say, don't be a smart aleck? Or maybe your mama says, don't you talk to me that way. Never did said that to you? That's when you're, no, because you don't ever do that. But sassy means that she's really sassy. She's going to talk back to you. She's not afraid of anybody. Okay. And then we already talked about the mouse deer. Okay, turn the page. What do you see happening here? See, yes. Yes, and you know what? Now that mouse deer is she's scared, but she's also thirsty. Can you find the word thirsty on this page? Because she has been eating that delicious red fruit. You see the delicious red fruit on the tree? Find the word delicious. That's another word that's a little bit tricky, but it's a good word for you to chunk. There it is. It's a big, long word. Delicious. Very good. You see it? It's delicious. I like what you did. This is what he did, boys and girls. He did this. Delicious. So he was chunking that word. And now after she's eaten that delicious red fruit, she's very thirsty. What's the problem, though?
This crocodile are in the
Oh, yeah. If she goes in the water, she's going to be what? Snapped. Okay, turn to the next page. And there's something I need to introduce to you on this page. There's a certain kind of stick that's in this story. And I'm going to see if you can chunk this. Very good. That's bamboo. Good. They're bamboo sticks. Okay. That's right. Panda bears like to. So she's going to be really careful. Let's turn around. Oh, let's turn the page. Oh, my gosh. What's happening here, Clay?
crocodile is
That's right. And let me show you. you're right, because she's so sassy. The crocodile opened his jaws. Good. There is a movie cut. What a great connection. Turn the page. Oh my gosh, look what's happening. What are you seeing there, Christian? Look at the mouse deer. What's wrong with the mouse deer?
She's putting her hair on baby's mouth or his teeth.
Yeah, her leg's caught. It's in this mouth.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
And look what the crocodile says right here. Aha! Why did he say aha?
She looks happy.
She looks happy? She does look happy.
Oh, she is good.
You're
She
gonna
said you didn't give me.
Nah, that's maybe why she's happy. Oh, you guys are so smart. Look at this. Yes, next page.
Yeah, I think I know why, because that was he thought it was gonna, it was a little bit in, but a little to the back to him, like as soon as he tried to hit him good,
Oh, she pulled it out. Well, we're going to find out. And now we have the poor mouse deer. You see her leg that's hurt? See how she's kind of limping on there? And that crocodile, though, he's not very clever. You guys know what clever means?
yeah.
Okay, good. So we're going to have to read to find out how she's going to get back to her home. Okay, go ahead and start reading.
Okay, so what actions did the teacher take during the book walk?
Okay, so she had students chunk words, connected with pictures to their own lives, had students look for vocabulary words, and had students make predictions.
So with those vocabulary words, what did you notice her do with them?
She chunked them. So, yeah.
I also like how she wrote it down on a whiteboard, and then she said, okay, this is the word that you're going to see in the story. How would you say this word?
Yes.
Okay. So what challenge have you come across while implementing the book walk so far in your guide reading?
Okay, so getting off track, the students getting off track, and then decoding the word skills, and then building vocabulary.
Okay. So based on what we talked about today, what steps should you take to improve your book walk process?
Okay, so I want to continue watching the Jan Richardson's videos, and even watch that one again, and redirect students when we get off track so that it doesn't take too long with one group, and then building vocabulary and decoding word skills like what she did.
Okay. So what you're saying, Miss McMillan, is that you're going to continue watching the Jan Richardson videos
Yes.
to get better at doing guided reading cycles and book walks. Also redirecting students who are getting off track.
Right?
And then building vocabulary and decoding those vocabulary words.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And one more time, can you tell me what that
So
is?
watch the Jan Richardson's videos, and then stay on track when I have my guided reading groups, and then build vocabulary and work on decoding words.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write those steps down,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about them when we follow up.
Okay.
And I'll have you write them down too so we know what
Okay.
we're going to be
I'll
looking
write 'em.
for.
Go straight in and get your library book, friends.
Okay,
Okay.
so I want to go ahead and take a few minutes and write out our script
Okay.
for whenever you do your guided reading cycle
Okay.
and you do your book walk.
Okay.
So I'm going to write down a script, and then you write down a script, and then we're going to compare
Okay.
our scripts. our plans.
Okay.
So, do you want to go first?
Yes, I can. Okay, so again, at the first, I would introduce the Saturday cat, and then I would ask the students, like, what do you think the title is about, or what do you think we're going to learn about the cat, or the Saturday cat, where the title came from. And so then they would make a couple of predictions, and then we would start on the first pages. So we would talk about how it says that Jack's cat had 9 kittens. And then we would look at, I would say, ask them if they see the word surprise on the page, and then they would find the word surprise. And then we would look at surprise and chunk that word, sir, and then prize. And then let's see. Then we would go on to pages 4 and 5. And then we would look, I would ask them to find, he talked about naming one of them Peanut. So I would ask them to find the word peanut on the page. And then they would find peanut. And then also it talked about they would name her Spot. Name one of them. It said name her Spot. And then her would mean what? It's a little girl. And then find the word Spot. And then I would also, go ahead.
I would almost also ask them, why is the word peanut capitalized and why is the word spot?
Spot, good question. That's a good one. Yes, very good. And then they would say because they're names. And then also, like, what do you think they would do? Like, what do you think they're going to do with all these kittens? There's 9 kittens. So then go on to page 6 and 7, and then I put, just looking at the pictures, how do you think they feel about the kittens? And then they would look at their faces, and they could tell that they're very happy and excited. And that also, it says that his friend is going to help him. His friend says, yes, how can I help you? And then also, we would look at the word yes, because it has an exclamation mark. So what does that show us? Well, that shows excitement, that he's excited that yes, he can help him.
And I think I would also like take that a step further and ask them, like, what does excitement look like? Like, you show me, what does excitement look like?
Oh, that's a good one.
Also for surprise. Like, what is
Very
that?
good. What is a surprise? Very good. Yeah, that's good. And then on pages 8 and 9, let's see. Oh, okay, so it says here, we need to make signs, said Jake. So I would ask him, like, why do you think they're going to make signs? What are they going to do with the signs?
That's exactly what I had down.
And then they can look and see that the picture has them drawing a kitten. So they're already going to kind of make a prediction in a way on what the signs are going to be about. And then on page 9, it says they can put the signs everywhere. So we would chunk everywhere. And also we can talk about how everywhere is a compound word. It has every and where in the word. So, and then again, you know, if they look at the picture, it says, what does it say in the poster that they made or in the sign that they made? And then of course they would say, oh, it says free. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that sign mean? So that means they would say, oh, the kittens are free. They're not going to charge anyone for the kittens. Okay.
I would probably connect, this would be a good one to connect to their lives too.
Okay.
Because maybe they've had like a litter of puppies or a litter of kittens that they've had, you know, to sell or get rid of. And then I'm sure they've seen signs around town
That's a good
too.
point.
So this would be a good
That's
way to
true.
connect with them.
And let's see. My other notes. Okay, and then it talks about on page 10 and 11, then people came to get the kittens, and it starts describing, like, Miss Page took the kitten with the long tail, so it's describing that the cat she took had a long tail. And then on page 11, I would say, okay, boys and girls, can anyone tell me, it's describing 3 kittens, can anyone tell me or show me what words describe the kittens? So it says here, Sam took a yellow kitten, and his mom took a black kitten, and then Maria also took a gray kitten. So they would be using, looking for those describing words or how the kittens are described. And then, let's see. Oh, and then it says on page 12 that there's only one kitten left.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think they're going to do with that one kitten? And then on page 13, he says that he will ask his grandma for help. And then I would go back and I said, okay guys, so we're still keeping in the back of my mind, this is called a Saturday cat.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think's gonna happen? So then they would turn the page and it shows that he's talking to his grandma. Oh, and then also if they, on grandma, if they had a hard time with the word grandma, they could chuck the word grand and ma.
Mm-hmm. I would also probably ask them when we get to this page, okay, so usually in a story there's a problem. What do you think the problem is? Because I think after they get here, they see that, you know, these kittens are going to
All
new
different
homes.
families.
And then, there's a kitten left in the box.
Right.
And it's not his. What do
Right.
you think the problem is?
Right. Oh, good. That's a good point. So, and then, so he's talking to his grandma about Spot, and he says, Spot can live at, and she says Spot can live at, the grandmother says, I have an idea, Spot can live at my house. And he says, great. And again, we see the exclamation mark showing excitement because he's found a home for the other cat. And then he says that I can see her every Saturday when I visit, said Billy. So where do you think the title came from now that he's saying he can visit the cat every Saturday? And so then they would reflect and say, oh, because he can go visit every Saturday, that's why it's called the Saturday cat. And then at the end, it says that I love my Saturday cat, said Billy. So again, how does he feel at the end? He's happy. And how would you feel if all the cats, if you had kittens and you found a home for all the cats?
So by the end, they should be making predictions on, okay, so there was a problem here. There's one cat left. I wonder how they're going to solve that problem. Well, he's on the phone with, I don't know who that is, but you did say the vocabulary word grandma, so maybe that's his grandma. And then, he probably got the kitten by the end. And then we would tell the kids at the very end, okay, well, let's read to find out what happened.
Very good, yeah.
Very good. Okay, so now that we have our initial plan, what would you do if one of your students is not cooperating?
Okay, if I had a student that was not cooperating in the group, then what I would do is I would get that student focused on maybe an iPad, remove that one student, get them focused on an iPad, get my group back together, and then after I finished with the group that I had at the table, then I would bring that student back one-on-one and finish my lesson then with that student.
Okay. Okay, so now are you ready to practice?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna pull this up here so we can use this
Okay.
if you need it. Because I like how Janet, since she used the whiteboard to show the kids exactly which word. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna be the student and you're gonna be the teacher, Mrs. Smith.
Okay, now I gotta remember what I just said. Okay, boys and girls, today we're gonna read the story called The Saturday Cat. Okay, please open your book to the first page. All right, so it talks about that Billy went to his friend Jake, and Jake had a surprise. Can you please find the word surprise on the page? Surprise. So yes, that is correct. Surprise. That is the word surprise. Very good. All right. Then let's turn, and it talks about that Jake had 9 kittens. So we have a cat and then 9 kittens. So what do you think about kittens? What do you think a kitten is?
Well, I have a cat. And she was a kitten. She used to be a kitten, and that's when she was a baby. So I think kittens are babies.
Very good, very good. Okay, let's turn the page. All right, so then we have, so it says this little one is mine, said Jake, and his name is Peanut. Can you find the word peanut on the page? Very good. Okay, so I want you to notice that Jake,
Mhm.
what do Jake and Peanut both start with?
A capital letter.
Very good. And so why do you think that Jake and Peanut both start with a capital letter?
Because the name of the cat or the kitten is Peanut.
Very
That's his
good.
name.
Very good.
And so as we continue, Miss McMillan, we're just looking at the pictures.
Okay,
We're making
okay.
predictions. So don't read it to me.
Okay.
When we end the story, like with doing the book
Mhm.
walk, then we're gonna read it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I would just ask, okay, look at the picture. Like, what are you noticing
Okay.
going on?
All right. So what do you notice is going on the next page, page 5?
The kittens are. Some of them are out of the box. One of them is crawling on Billy,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one in the box, and there's the mama cat.
Very good. Okay. So they have a lot of kittens.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. Turn the page. All right. So on page 6 and 7, how do their expressions look? Do they look happy?
So Billy looks happy, and then Jake looks like he's talking.
Yes. And what do you think he might be saying?
Well, Jake is holding that kitten, and he's happy, so maybe he's gonna take that one, or maybe he's telling him to take it.
Right. Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's go to the next page. So what do you think they're doing? What do you think they're doing? So they have a whole bunch of kittens, and it looks like, what are they making? They're drawing something. What do you think they're drawing?
They're drawing kittens.
Right.
Billy still has that same kitten in his lap,
Right.
and then Jake has that kitten, and the rest of them are playing.
Very good. Very good. So, what do you think they're going to do? So, looking at page 8 and 9, when people have a lot of kittens, what do you think they're doing?
Well, they're putting up a sign over there. It says free.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be finding homes for
Right.
those kittens.
Very good. So, they're making signs. Okay, so here would I have them look at the word signs?
Yeah.
Okay,
So that would just be like a vocabulary word that you would have to just teach them.
Right,
This
right.
is the word signs.
Right. Okay, so they're putting the signs up everywhere. All right. So this word is. So this I'm going over the vocabulary right everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is a compound word. It has every and where in the word. So there. Now, have you ever seen signs around town before?
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And a lot of people. So and then they're free. So what do you think that means?
They don't have to pay for
They don't have to pay anything. They can come get the cat. Okay. So then it talks about that Miss Page took the kitten with a long tail. So Miss Page has one. And then can you find on the next page like where it would describe the other kittens? They're describing the 3 other kittens.
So it says yellow kitten. There's a yellow kitten,
Mm-hmm.
black kitten,
Very good.
and then gray kitten.
Very good. Yes. Okay. Then he only had one. How many does he have there? One kitten left. All right. And so he's going to have to find a home for that one kitten. So it talks about on the page. Can you see where it talks about on page 13?
Mm-hmm.
Who does it list maybe on page 13 or say he might call to come get his kitten? Or to see if they would help with a kitten?
I don't know.
Talks about grandma. So he's going to ask for his grandma for help. Okay?
Okay, so one more thing. Rather than telling me the problem, I would ask the student, okay, what are you noticing after putting up those signs and those kittens going to families? What do you notice is happening on these 2 pages?
Right. Okay.
Well, there's still a kitten left in the box, and he's still holding that same kitten.
So, and then what is that going to happen with that one cat?
Mm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you think he's doing here? Who do you think he's talking to on the phone?
She looks like a grandma.
Okay, maybe talking to his grandma then. Great. And then he looks very what? How does he look on the phone as he's talking to his grandma?
Happy.
Happy. So what do you think might be happening?
Maybe he's either asking grandma if she wants to take it or if he can take it.
Right. And then what do you think she might say?
Well, she looks happy.
Yeah, she looks happy.
So maybe she's saying yes.
Yeah, she's saying yes. So then turn the page. And then he has that one kitten there.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And then it talked about, it says, what does it say here? What's the word that it says there? Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think it says that? What do you think that means? Like according to the story, what do you think that means with that one cat? What do you, from the title, what do you think that means?
Maybe he sees his grandma on Saturday?
Sees his grandma on Saturday. Very good. So he gets to see his grandma and the cat on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Okay, good job. Now we're going to try this one more time, but I'm going to be the kid who's uncooperative, okay?
All right. Okay. All right. So
I'm so excited.
Good. Very good. So we're going to pretend there's nobody else in the group, right? I've called them back to the group, to the table by themselves.
Oh, no. We're going to be all one, like a big group.
Oh,
and
big
you're
group.
going to redirect.
Okay. All right. Okay. So very good. I'm glad you're excited about the book.
Yay.
Okay. Yay. Okay. So I want you to.
Hey, Jake.
Okay. Okay. Now we're going to read the Saturday Cat.
Oh, I have a cat.
Good. I'm glad you have a cat.
So
Do you
this
have a cat?
weekend, my cat.
Oh no, we need to open our book. So I would like you to follow along. If not, then I would say that what you need to do is, you're being a very good okay, so what you need to do is then I would have you, okay, go and work on an iPad and then come back and redirect you to come back, and then I would read the title with you, The Saturday Cat, and then I would open the pages. And then I would go through the story and talk to you about the story. And I would do the same thing I just did, but with you as an individual. So I would talk to you about what you thought was going on in the picture. So again, what do you think is happening in the picture?
So there's a cat.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend we put up my Christmas tree, and my cat was climbing the Christmas tree.
Uh-huh.
And it was getting in trouble. My mom was getting so mad at me.
Very good. So did you have, let's turn the page and see. So this says, okay, so this is this said that it had a cat and it had 9 kittens. So do you think this is a cat or a kitten?
A kitten.
A kitten? You're right. Why do you think it's a kitten?
Because it's small.
It's small. Very good. So a kitten is small. Okay, very good. Now what do you notice on here? How many kittens do you think there are?
There's a mouse.
There is a mouse. Why do you think there would be a mouse with the cats?
There's another mouse.
There is another mouse. You think maybe because cats like mice?
Oh, maybe.
Very good. Okay, so
They probably ate the mouse.
it said, oh, well, but the mouse is, but the mouse is still there, so. Okay, so then it talks about, can you find the word peanut? Because one of the cat's name is Peanut.
Peanut?
Uh-huh, Peanut. Very good. And then it talks about this little, Jake is talking about his. He says, this one's mine. So Jake and Peanut both start with capital letters. Why do they start with capital letters?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Mm-mm.
Does your name start with a capital letter?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Peanut is a name, and Jake is a name. So, do you think that's why they might both start with capital letters?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay. So, go back. Let me see. Go back to the page we were on. All right. So then, it says, and he's talking about the different ones. It says, I like this one. So, okay. So, can you tell me which one that can you find the word spot? It says, I will name her Spot. Okay. Do you see anything? What does spot start with?
Oh.
Very good. And it also starts with a capital letter. Very good.
We'll go ahead and stop there.
Okay.
So first I would probably, I know you're trying to control the book.
Mhm.
I would probably model with
Mhm.
your book first.
Okay.
And if I'm still fidgety and getting off topic, I would say, okay, you know, here, I'm going to follow along with you.
Mhm.
Follow with my finger, and then just like make sure that I'm like still engaged and looking at you.
Okay.
Okay.
So you would follow in this book with your finger, and then I would follow as I follow along on this one. Okay.
Okay. How did what we practiced meet the action step that we named earlier?
So then it would just be to reset my group,
Mm-hmm.
and then just to go back over the vocabulary and the different skills.
Mm-hmm. And chunking the words.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then using the pictures to predict.
Right.
What's
to
gonna
predict what's
happen.
going to happen in the story.
Yeah, because pictures is going to help their comprehension
Right.
of the story. A lot.
Okay.
I would just, one more thing is utilize like a whiteboard.
Okay.
Like make them see you write it, make them see the word just like by itself.
Okay.
And then chunk it, like
Okay.
either with your hands or with a piece of paper covering it.
Okay.
Okay, so when I come to your classroom, I'm going to observe the book walk strategies.
Okay.
Having students look for vocabulary words, chunking possible words that they might stumble upon, making predictions based on the pictures, and then connecting the story to their real life. And then also just making sure that the kids are engaged and staying with you,
Right.
and if not, like resetting the whole group. And I
Okay.
like how you were gonna send that student off to go work on something
Mhm.
else, and then pull them one-on-one.
Right.
I'm gonna have you observe Miss Ramirez first.
Right.
Do her guided reading cycle, which includes the book walk, and you're gonna do that on Tuesday.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
When would be the best time for me to observe you implementing the book walk?
Okay. Probably Wednesday. The
Wednesday?
following day. Mhm.
Okay, perfect. All right. I will come and observe you on Wednesday.
Okay. Sounds
Thank
good.
you, Miss
Thank
McMillan.
you.